Good evening. It's like you just saw me. We have a busy night down here at Empires. It's always fun to talk to creatives. We just talked to Jesse Baggs about his art on the art wall. And now we're talking small press, which is really something dear to my heart. So we are talking to a creative who has taken it to the next level. He's done the legwork. He's got his book coming out through Diamond this Wednesday that you're going to want to watch for. It's called The Edge. And here we go. Let's talk to the man himself about him and what's going on. How's it going there, sir? How you doing, Marvin?
It's doing pretty good. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy to have you on the show. And I'm excited to talk not only about you so people can get to know the man behind the scenes, because usually we get to do that at the cons. One of the things us comic fans have is a connection to our creators. And that's obviously out the window right now. So your book is coming out this Wednesday, and that has got to be absolutely exciting. It's called The Edge, and it's coming through who again?
Second Sight Publishing. You can.
Oh, right on your chest. Loud and proud. That's perfect. Second Sight Publishing. It's getting distributed nationwide. So even if you're not here in Sacramento, folks, talk to your local shop. Tell them to get it if they haven't gotten it, because you want to read it. So let's learn more about you to start with. So when did your passion for comics start?
So I started reading comics in the 80s. I gravitated to, like X-Men and Avengers. But I don't think my passion really came in until the 90s. It was when reading like the Jim Lee's X-Men and Youngblood, not Youngblood, but X-Force and all those books. And when those guys decided they wanted to do their own thing and formed Image, I think that was the spark right there, because then I wasn't aware of anything outside of Marvel or DC, because that was one on the spinner racks in the grocery store. I wasn't going to comic shops then until Image came along, and I realized, oh, there's other stuff out there that you can get into. So it was one of those things where it was like other people were doing it. Why not? Let's give it a try and see what happens.
So you at that point, that sparked your interest really sparked your interest as far as like you wanted to create and you wanted to be part of this. Now, from what I understand, this book has been in the works for a long time. It's been rolling around in your mind. You've been doing work on it. Because you came up with it, like the general concept way back then, didn't you?
Yes. So back in, I think, I want to say 93, 94 is when I first started putting pieces together. And you know that when the first thing you ever do isn't good. And that's the one thing I want to tell people is like, you do the first thing you do, just say it's not going to be good. It's not going to be any good. It's a learning curve. You gotta break your own back to get to where you want to go.
So so you've obviously been working on it a long time. I imagine life got in the way. It probably got shelved for a while, and then eventually you came back to it. Or have you been working on this?
I would say that I probably shelved the idea around 2007 or so. And while I was doing an artist search, and it wasn't until I met my artist now, Mark Louis. And I think in 2012 is when we officially got rolling on the book.
Okay, so then in 2012, you published it and went to con, and you guys did cons and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so you did the cons. How many issues do you have actually available right now that we're just waiting?
So in our initial run, we made it to issue 9.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then COVID came rolling around, and we were getting ready. I was getting ready to do a release party for issue 10 at New Dimension Comics here in Pittsburgh, and then COVID hit. This was going to be in March last year, and it threw everything into upheaval. Yeah. So at that time, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the book. Did I want to go ahead and release issue 10 online, or wait until the COVID thing kind of passed and things got more straightened out? Because like the shops, all the shops were doing limited attendance in the shop. So there was no way I could do a release party. So I was talking with Spike Jarrell from Second Sight, and he was talking about the things they were trying to do. And I figured my best option was to get in front of stores, talking to store owners, talking to the customers that are going to the stores, and figuring out a path from there. So from that point, we decided to go ahead and restart over with issue 1. And the thing about it is that this is not the same issue 1 that was already released. This is a brand new issue number 1. The art's been redone, the color's been redone. We did a little bit of cleanup on the script. The lettering's been redone. It's a whole new book.
Okay, so you went back to the drawing board, took everything that you learned, and then revamped it. Now, then my question is, we don't want to give anything away. God, before we do this, we should probably tell them what the book is about. Why don't you give us the rundown?
So the Edge is a drug that gives abilities, but these abilities are more of a curse, because the more you use them, the more it's going to rip apart pretty much your life force, and you're going to die. So each one of these characters that are using these powers has a limited lifespan on how they can use these abilities. So what ends up happening is the character Revenant, who is a government agent, decides that he's going to go rogue. He doesn't want to be handled anymore. He's got the secrets of the Edge in his head and in his body, and he's out in the world. So his former handler, Tartable, forms a team to take him out. So we're trying to play with we want the reader to somewhat decide on who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. We don't want to tell them that up front, and just give them an idea of this is the world, and this is how the world is. Things that are in gray, and you never know who your ally is or who your enemy is.
So then how is this going? Are you planning a limited run? Like, is this a mini series? Do you want to make this ongoing? Do you want to have spin-offs?
So when we were first working on this, the plan was to make it a finite series where it had an ending in mind, but we started having so much fun with it, and there's so many different directions we can go in with not just the Edge, but the characters, that we're going to keep it going as long as it's fun. As long as it's fun and people are enjoying it, we're just going to keep rolling.
All right, as long as you both are invested and you want to make this happen, then how did you get hooked up with A, your artist, and B, Second Sight?
So I met Mark, and I want to say, but it was because it was so long ago. It was back in 2012, and I can't. All the little wheels aren't turning on that year completely. I think it was on the Digital Web and forums where I saw his artwork and reached out to him. And I asked him, "Hey, are you interested in doing a book?" And he said yes, and that's history now.
Digital webbing is a fantastic forum.
Yeah. Yes.
Whether you're looking to pay an artist or whether you're looking for a collaborator, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So I've been on digital webbing for a while. I haven't been there for a while because I know they're moving a lot of stuff to Facebook, but I mean, it was a tremendous resource to finding artists and colorists and everything else.
Okay, so you got him. Then what about the publisher? Because that's not, getting the book done. Not that it's easy, because it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of commitment when there's so many things in life pulling you every direction. But getting a publisher, that's a next step that most small press isn't able to take. Right.
So I mean, this one was a kind of happenstance. So like I said, I was talking to Spike Jarrell, who's the lead on the submissions for Second Sight, and we were just talking back and forth, and he was telling me what they had going on and what their plans were, and I was just like, okay, so I'll just submit. And like a week or so later, they were saying, we want you on board. So I mean, it was pretty much a done deal from there. I was like really excited about joining forces with these guys and getting this thing out there.
Okay. Well, that is great. That's like the ideal situation there. And let them take it from there. But you still had a ton of work to do as far as continuing and promoting, of course.
Right.
But I'm super happy for you to have it out this Wednesday, to see it finally come. And we've got a few people who have we posted up there that have said congratulations, by the way, on having it come out this Wednesday.
Well, thanks, everybody.
And you've done a great job of it. For all you creators out there, take a page from his book, because he contacted us through email, let us know about his book, what was coming, and that had us then go take a peek at it on Diamond's website, made sure that we were ordering it. It was coming into the shop. So no, this has been a lot of fun to see this move along. Now we're getting this issue. Go ahead.
Let's add to that real quick. I sent about 1,500 emails to stores. As soon as the book was like this, not just in the States either. I emailed stores in the UK and Australia. I hit everyone I could.
Yeah, that's ultimately what you have to do. I mean, there are so many books monthly that come out through Diamond that we have to sift through. That connection is actually very important to retailers. So you guys keep that in mind out there. But that 1,500 emails must have taken a long time.
Well, I mean, the hardest part was making the list. So I've got an extensive list that I've shared with multiple people of shops across the world.
That is great. You made the list yourself?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, though that's very kind of you to share it with other creators then, because that must have been ridiculous.
Yeah. And I'm still building it too, because there's some ones that I missed before that I'm adding again now. So the list is up to 2,000 now.
Wow. That's wonderful. That's great. No, well, I'm hope it's working. I'm hoping that people are doing this. We've got issue 1 this Wednesday. Now, you said initially you're going quarterly, but then you're going to move to monthly?
So we're going to go after issue 2, which is in May previews. We're going to go bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That'll give you a chance to make sure you can keep up with it, make sure you can we get it on time, which is great from a retailer's perspective. So so that'll be July. We'll get the first one now, and then July for the second one.
Issue 2. Yes.
Okay.
And so that will put us in the September's previews for issue 3.
Okay, that's great. If you guys haven't checked out, can you throw the website up there, Ronnie? If you haven't gone to his website, take a peek, because it's really neat. What I liked about it that a lot of places don't do is not only did you have the synopsis, you have the shop, but I love character bios. And if you guys want to get introduced to the characters before the book comes out, there's a section right there. You can click on them and get all the info in one spot with the design pics, so you can see them laid out. It was really well done. So I highly recommend everyone go take a peek at that. Now,
and that's my first wave of that site. So we're going to get that fully updated and move to its own server pretty soon.
Oh, you are? Is there anything you have planned for the website?
Well, I mean, we only have up to issue 4 on there. We don't have all the characters up there either. So if you've seen from our character little bio sheet thing, we've got a lot of characters that need to go up and get up there. So it's still a lot of work. It's still a work in progress on the website. So there's more to come there.
It still looks good. It still looks absolutely good. So that now, do you have any other projects in mind that you might want to work on in the future outside of the art?
Yeah, so we do have plans for a sci-fi book, and Second Sight is a company that's all about the whole gamut of books, so horror books, sci-fi books, thrillers, and superheroes. So we're going to try to touch everything. So we're working on a thriller. We're going to do a horror book, and it's not going to be zombies, because every time I bring up horror, somebody says, "Well, we don't want any more zombies." Like, fine, I'll do werewolves or something like that. I won't do zombies. Make everybody happy.
Okay, they are very saturated. They really, really are. And then Walking Dead just tipped it. So yeah. So good. So you've got other projects, and you're going to work with the same creative teams?
More likely. I mean, what we're doing is we're pretty much Mark is the artist. I consider him the art director. So anything that is artwork goes past him. But we're always looking out for variant covers from other artists, or like smaller stories from other artists. But I mean, we're keeping our eyes open for everything.
Okay, perfect. They got a bunch planned. Now, as I've stressed here today, and I always stress on these kind of interviews, I don't think anybody really realizes how much goes into this and how much you have had to do and sacrifice to do this, whether it's the money, the time, and it's draining. It can be very draining. This is something that slogs a lot of people down. A lot of people don't end up getting as far as you have gone. Is there any advice that you can give to people who are working on something or who might want to start that can help them get through some of this?
Right. Well, like you said, that a lot of creators hardly don't ever make it past issue 1. That issue 1 bogs them down, you said, so much, and drains so much energy from them that they never go any further. My advice is to not even put issue 1 available until issue 4 is done. Get all your energy into everything you're doing before you put it out there, because what happens is that once you take off that creator hat, you have to put that promotion hat on. You have to put that business hat on and start. You've gone from creating something to selling something, which gives you zero time to create or go over your book, do your edits, or do anything else. You can't do both at the same time. That's even more draining. I think that's what ends up happening with a lot of people when they get issue 1 done. Issue 1's out, and they just can't push it because they run out of all their energy. So my thing is, do as many as you can up front, either scripting, art, colors. Get something to the point where you're almost done with that 4th issue. If there is a 4th issue, if there's only 2 issues, get that issue 2 done, and then start doing your promotion. That way, the creative process is done, and now you can go and put that promotion hat in and just keep driving for that.
I like that. I have not actually gotten that response from anybody yet, but I really like it because, yeah, the promotion's a completely different beast, and as a creative. Creatives don't necessarily always fall into that marketing and promotion thing as easily as they like. And so, yeah, having a number of issues under your belt that you can just walk away from for a moment, I think that's fantastic advice.
Right. And I mean, it also helps with submissions too. Like if you're submitting to a publisher and you can show them 4 completed books, they're going to be more likely to accept you into their publishing group and say, hey, this guy or this guy or girl is moving ahead on it, and they know what they need to do. Those 4 issues are there. That means we got 4 months worth of product we can put out on the shelves.
Yeah, this is very true. Now, despite being good at the promotion part, is it something you enjoy, or is it just a part of the beast?
I would think I like it. I think I really like talking to people about products and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not just promoting my own stuff. I'm promoting Second Sight stuff. We've got Herrenberg and Marisha in the chat here. I help promote their books. So while I'm promoting my own stuff, I'm promoting other 30 or 20 other books at the same time on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I'm always sharing people's stuff. So, I mean, it just comes at a natural point where you're like, okay, I can do it for my book. Can I do it for other people's books and just help them get things moving? I mean, it's fine. I just want to help.
That's great. That's the perfect attitude right there. You guys are all in it together. Whether you're part of Second Sight or just another publisher, getting books out into people's hands. And this is an industry where people don't generally jump into it because they don't like it. Like, we're all passionate about comics. We all love the industry. And I wish you all the best on Wednesday. We will have it here on our shelf, of course, everybody. So please take a peek at it. If it goes before you are able to get in here, we'll order some more. We'll make sure we get them on the shelves. And are you excited for Wednesday?
Oh, man, I'm really excited. We'll be at New Dimension Comics down in the waterfront on Wednesday, Phantom of the Attic on Saturday, and then smattering other stores in the area around there. And then since we're not going to have cons, we're going to do some touring of stores this spring and summer.
That's great. That's great. So anybody over there will have a chance to see you. And then once things get back to normal, maybe we'll see you over at WonderCon or San Diego or some of those kind of things.
That's the goal. I mean, it's got to hit all the corners. All of them. Like, even going overseas if we have to. Like, we're going to want to try to hit every corner and meet as many people as we can. That's
great. Well, again, guys, check out the website so you can see what's coming. Check out the characters. Follow it on Facebook. Everything. Just follow and read. We appreciate you guys supporting all the small press. We carry quite a bit of indie because I love indie like you would not believe. Love me some Spider-Man, don't get me wrong, but I think these are the kind of things where we get ideas and concepts that we would never get over at Marvel or DC. But real quick, I want to ask you one more question. And this is the most important one. Yep. Which do you prefer, traditional or soft serve ice cream?
Traditional. I mean, soft serve. I don't think soft serve was even a thing when I was a child. This is. I have to know because I disagree with a friend about this, and so I always have to ask so that I'm validated. So I thank you for answering correctly, sir. But good luck with the book. I will keep in touch with you so we can find out more as things progress. Please reach out to me, and everybody, again, check out the website. Follow him on all the social media, and more importantly, pick up the book. Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. I hope you have a great week. Thank you. All right. Good night.